There we go. Alright, in the top right side we have a red Protoss player fighting for Alpha X. It's the one and only Classic. There you go. In the bottom left side, his opponent from the blue colors in the Terran race. He is GUMIHO. Storm Gaming, of course. Let's not forget about Storm Gaming, a crew of people that has been around pretty much since the start of StarCraft 2. I remember them being a big part of the scene already for a long time now. Always providing us with some nice StarCraft 2 talent. This guy is GUMIHO, the Towel Terran, and legend of its own kind. So just kind of waiting to see the setup here from both players coming out to play with. Checking to see if anything weird is happening. So far, it's not really weird at all. It's pretty gosh darn standard. We got a cyber core in front of the Nexus, so I mean, Classic super safe here. Guess we could talk about this. I was asking whether or not Classic was having a good day today. He's like, yeah. Unless if I lose these games, then it's gonna be a bad day. So yeah, he's in the good mood to try and win everything, making it work or trying to make it work. Got a little Reaper boy to follow around. That's always nice. Wow. Second barracks coming up as well. Right after the first barracks. No factory just yet, so assuming a third barracks will be coming up. Gonna get a probe or two here as well with that Reaper. Adept on the other side of the map, not quite aware what was happening there with the Reaper maneuvering. On the other side, that Adept is going to be able to slow down the command center here ever so little. Come on, there you go. Gets the SCV, we'll have to send another one. Probably won't get picked off anymore, the SCV. Too much firepower now here available. Not enough time for the Adept to shoot. Yeah, so both a little bit of economic damage in the start. It's probably going to equalize things out, right? Guess those two probes died a little bit quicker, but I mean, it's two probes. It's two probes for the Reaper. It's the one thing. But I think they're both still fine. Absolutely fine. Reaper gonna try his luck once more. No, his lucky day. No, his lucky day. Well worth the shot. Well worth the efforts. Reactors and Steam Pack, of course. Big blob of Marines. Most likely gonna try to traverse the map here and see what they can shoot down. Sometimes we... it's actually kind of interesting. Usually, well, I feel like I used to see the Terran go across the map with all of these Marines right here and then just gun down as many probes as they could, right? Just run past... Or actually, no. First, I saw them trying to trade against the gateway units. And then, that's when they started to try and run in and try to get all the probes killed. I'm a okay fan of both of them. I kind of like the gateway killing the units there. Just because it slows down the Protoss overall quite a bit with their technology, right? You have to remake those gateway units. And then your entire development is kind of slogged and bogged down. What's this? What's this? What's this all about, Classic? Putting down a pylon across the map here. Moving all his Stalkers across as well. I mean, he does have the 3 gateways now, I believe. 3 gateways with the Robo as well. He does have Blink available. So, I mean, this could be pretty good for him. Especially if he finds, you know, half the entire army of his opponents outside of the map. Ooh, losing 3 Stalkers in the process, though. That is pretty good from GUMIHO. Still finding as much as he could. The rest of the Marines are coming across the left side. This Classic is starting to set up his fourth gateway over here. Should be a safe space for Classic. Overall, he does want to try to trade out against these Marines as much as possible. Will be able to do so when the Observer is going to grant him vision over here. Actually, GUMIHO playing it safe, bringing them back around. Another group of loose Marines on the other side of the map. As, ooh, he spots the gateway. Alright. Might be a little bit frightening for him to see. But especially with that command center that close. Looks like he has an okay grasp of the situation, especially with that Stim Marines coming in from the other side, killing all the, well, Blink Stalkers trying to evacuate right there. And now, yeah, sure, you could do another warp in of 4 Stalkers, but it's not really going to do anything here. No, sir, that ain't a pretty sight for the Protoss player. So GUMIHO gonna be feeling pretty good about that. Getting the probe, the pylon, and the gateway, the holy trinity of Protoss proxies. He's doing a good job with targeting down these units as well, as they're trying to blink backwards. GUMIHO is just like, you know what? Nah, you're not gonna get value here. You're just not. I will kill those units. I will finish them off. He's got medevacs with him. Let's see how well they traded out, actually. Let's take a look at the units lost tab. You know what? I think that looks really good for GUMIHO. Look at that. That's like 600 more gas lost for the Protoss player. Gas, a very, very important resource here. Not really. Let's see. Robotics base on the map. Grabbing the +2 upgrades as well as the second robo facility. But yeah, not a single AoE splash unit out just quite yet. Gonna have to rely on mostly Stalkers here if this Marine ball decides to push into the Protoss third base. Classic realizing that army is rotating over there, so he decides to take the initiative with his Stalkers to go across. Just pick whatever he can pick on the other side of the map, then just recall back to be ready for the defense here. Seems to be okay. Seems to be okay. Probably would like to start thinking about that 4th base. Has a probe already in position. Warp Prism into the main base. Also a pretty nice move. Well, that's 5 SCVs. That's pretty solid. Gets out of there with everything as well, so not bad. Not bad. Wow, Classic. Micromanaging quite heavily there. Gets the mine though, of course. This is where things get very interesting. Another drop on the left flank right now. It does have 3 clearances. Classic is trying to deal with the drop on the main base front. The 4th base is going to get targeted down, get reset back to 0. That doesn't get cancelled, that is. It does get cancelled. Okay. A little bit of a relief. But then again, I mean, this main base of his is still in a lot of trouble. Still in a lot of trouble. Zealot drop? What did the Zealot drop do? I think, losing the Warp Prism as well in that situation right there. During all the mayhem. I wasn't paying attention to the Warp Prism either, but apparently Classic also having a bit of trouble staying up to date with all those 3 locations there at the same time. GUMIHO is starting to look like he just has more and more control over the entire map right now. To be fair, most of his army is consisting out of Marines, so, you know, a good couple of volleys from Colossi, and you should be able to make that work. Takes a long while for Classic to do all of this micro though with his Blink Stalkers, setting off Widow Mines that way, and then also friendly firing with the Colossi, or attempting to get rid of them that way. I mean, he does, so it just, man, it takes a lot of time, right? It takes so much more than rather than just A moving and having an observer there as well. Oh boy, oh, that is rough. Well, 13 probes. Another notch on GUMIHO's belt. Ready ready to start wrapping this one up, I guess. Gaining advantage after advantage. Another cancellation forced onto the 4th base here. GUMIHO is starting to set up his. Now, Classic, of course, I mean, no massive economic disadvantage just quite yet for him. At least that has set in stone for his army composition at this moment in time. So he does still have the opportunity to go for some sort of counter damage right here. And he has a shot of making it work. That being said, there are Marines and Marauders in each and every crevice of each and every base that he owns. Starting to run away with the probes right here. He knows he's going to have to make do with the big old base race right now. The probes in a lot of trouble. The Marauders and Marines already spotted them leaving. I know there's like 6 flames right now. But apparently GUMIHO is still paying attention to where those probes were going to on the mini-map, or wherever the hell he was looking. And this is a lot of trouble. No Nexus available for a recall. He's gonna try to just panic mode right now and put down Nexus wherever he can. He's got his probe right here available. He's, oh boy, oh boy. Getting kind of close. Neither of them having any economy left anymore. As GUMIHO, well, his army is very low HP actually. Did a lot of stimming right now. So most of these boys are going to get targeted down. Classic, he's got himself 2 Nexi. But there's not really an opportunity for him to leave his base right now. Or is there? Oh, Disruptor over there. I'm not sure what that Disruptor was doing. Still a lot of production going on for GUMIHO. Still has these, well, 3 bases as well that aren't that bad on the mineral count. Doesn't have the SCVs, I suppose, to really mine from them, but... Well, here we go. GUMIHO, he's scouring the bottom right side of the map. Maybe he's anticipating some other next side to be built over down there. This is giving the opportunity for Classic to come into the main base and actually put a last bit of damage on that bad puppy right there. So time after time again. Here we go. That Nexus is going to have to complete it. It's going to have a recall ready. I don't think they do have a recall ready, right? Oh, God. Here we go. Okay. Is it in time? Is that Nexus going to get shot down anyway? Yes, it is. Oh, that is a bummer. The Colossi on their own not strong enough after that Bio Ball had been cast, or, well... Healed up. Makes me wonder, what's the better way to say it? Is it climbed up the stairs, or is it walked up the stairs? I walked up the stairs, or I climbed up the stairs? Which one is grammatically correct? I don't know. Are both okay to say? That'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? It'd be a bit confusing. It's climbing and walking now. Interesting. Depth trying to get whatever he can. He's going to be able to get this this Hellion and actually get the heck out of there as well. Where did Adept go? He did he die? I thought he shaded away. My bad. That was really close. That was really close. Yep, they both died. Well, you win some, you lose some. That area is blocked off. Should still be able to jump up this ramp. I think he might be able to... Well, he's going to see the Oracle fly by, so there you go. Might not be able to see the Stargate, but it's as good as it gets, right? Is Oracle here? I mean, if it actually flew across the map instantaneously... think it used a bit of energy as well to kill the Reaper, but man, there's not a lot of Marines here. There's only 4 Marines. There's no Cyclone. There's a Siege Tank in the medevac that can't really help out either. And everything now being sent across the map. This mineral line is entirely open and exposed. Am I crazy? Is there a Widowmine there? There is no Widowmine there either. This is just open pickings right now for the Oracle, but I guess Classic's still playing it a little bit wary, not seeing any factory units on the map, so probably anticipating some sort of a Widowmine and trying to figure out where that is. And deciding to go for a little bit of a safer play, going for the other side of the map right there. The Phoenix should be a very powerful tool here against this Siege Tank mechanism on the high ground. The SCVs, I mean, he gets a Stalker and he gets a Pylon. I don't think that's worth it though, really, right? That is a bit disappointing in all honesty for that attack, especially in combination with losing those SCVs back at home. That is rough. That's rough stuff. He only lost 4 of them. I thought for sure that was going to be more. Especially if he had attacked this area right here, that would have been, oh, that would have been brutal. Still no missile turrets. 1 Phoenix goes down. That's not enough Stalkers to beat this with. That is not enough Stalkers, good sir. Right, that might be though. That might be, unless the Cyclones get good look-ons into the low HP. You know what? Yeah, he's doing a good job there once again with the micro. Cyclones, they are scary units after all. Not bad. Not bad from GUMIHO there. Thought he might be in a little bit of a pickle after losing those units in that aggressive move. But, I mean, he seems fine. He seems fine. Just dropping a Siege Tank with a couple of Marines in your opponent's main base. Losing them after killing a Pylon and a single Stalker. And it's like, you know, we'll just have Cyclones ready for the counterattack. No worries. No worries at all. Pretty smooth. Marine comes in, wants to see if there's a 3rd base or not. Doesn't really get the eyeballs on it though, unfortunately. So he's gonna have to try and figure some other way out to see what's what. He's already building his own 3rd CC though, so I mean he's already decided which pathway he's gonna walk. It's just a matter of like how much panic do I need to summon right here in order to match the situation. Which really isn't that much. He's taking the right steps. Going up to 5 Rex. And actually 5 gateways as well being added into the mix. Going up to 8 gates. A big old gateway explosion right here is going to allow a lot of Stalkers to start making moves. Taking a Siege Tank shell from afar does put away a lot of the shield's energy on these units here. I say a lot, it's 2 of them. Which for a reasonable period of time used to be like 50% of all the Stalkers that we had, but I suppose there's a couple more now. Person still coming in, there we go, that's the blink on top of the Siege Tank. Is this just now going to be too much? Still another Siege Tank on the high ground behind. Cyclone gone. I mean, this is pretty good for the Blink Stalkers. Really, all you want to do here is take care of that 3rd base. This on its own, absolute fantastic move for Classic. Gonna put him in a lovely position here. 3 base versus 2 base right now. Has the opportunity to go into the main base as well if he really wants to, or even jump right on top of that secondary Siege Tank. That is a bit of a whiffed blink right there, though. That is very unfortunate. And with the repair, the Siege Tank gets like a lentitude of extra shots of the Blink Stalkers trying to finish off this game right now as well. With the Zealot swapped in, no charge available, might not be enough. Or is it just barely enough? More units coming in. A lot of SCVs going down. I mean, if this attack still gets thwarted, it might have still been enough just in the later parts of this game. We'll have to realize how many SCVs GUMIHO lost, how he traded poorly against the Stalkers right there. Well, I say he traded poorly. He traded pretty good, actually. It's just better eco for Classic available there for a longer period of time. Alright. Attacking up. +2/+2 for GUMIHO coming out. Coming out to play, as there are Colossi being developed by Classic right now. Once again, going for the a little bit easier to control laser giraffes. Oh, that's interesting. Why are the probes on the other side? What's that about? What are these probes up to? Very curious. Wants to take out the rocks, make it a bit easier to rotate back and forth between the back and the front of the gold base. That's probably a good choice, as GUMIHO right now has got his eyeballs locked on this target. Every unit he's got pretty much, bar a few, coming in ready to destroy some probes. And that is good probe damage. Takes a while for Classic to respond for this. Sees to spot a Marine. Doesn't quite want to try to make it, make the push happen there. Another probe picked off. GUMIHO once more starting to take a bit of the initiative away from Classic. And immediately, as soon as GUMIHO kind of gets himself on this side, things do seem to be a bit smoother. Until that very moment, of course, as I'm talking. Absolutely squashed right there. Another drop into the main base. It's going to have to provide a little bit more time for GUMIHO. As he's sending another wave on the right flank. He's just going to ping-pong between these two targets. And as long as he manages to deal enough damage and buy enough time, it should keep him alive. The threat is, of course, if you keep losing these attacks, you're just putting yourself further and further behind if you're not dealing any damage. That being said, just sitting back, of course, probably not going to be the way for you to win this game either. Once again, a base trade is going to ensue right now. SCVs, the ones this time around on the run, trying to get away from the scary enemy army. As on the opposite side of the field, I mean, yeah, wow, okay, Classic might have enough just to win on both fronts. I think he kind of did. He lost his gold base probe line, but he still has, well, 3 base. 57 probes versus 38 SCVs. And in particular, I suppose it's important that he has, well, 4 Nexus versus 3 command centers, one of which is just floating across space and time right now. It's absolutely lost there. Doesn't quite know where to go. I guess it does know where to go. It's going to the gold base. Is it going to the gold base? That would make sense to me, right? Just go for the gold base. You need to make up for time. You need to get yourself some extra money. You need a way to get back into this game, and the gold base could be the best way to make that happen. I'm not sure if that gold base is going to help out anymore at this moment in time. Here we go, a big flank from those bio units. The SCV and the bio in the main base, though, a little bit stuck behind the Archon. Maybe a force field there as well. GG is called. Classic ties up the show. Top left side, a red Protoss resides. He is fighting for Alpha X. It's Classic. In the bottom left, there is the blue boy, waiting to bounce back right now in game number 3 and try to gain the lead once more. It is the one and only Sizestorm Gamers, GUMIHO. What's this, GUMIHO? Ooh, a sneaky little boy. A sneaky little boy putting a barracks in the middle of the map. It's only a singular barracks here, so Nothing too worrying about, but then again, we are seeing a double gas being taken back at home. That might mean some sort of a weirder follow-up rather than just a Reaper. That could occur right now, but Classic, staying on his toes here, apparently might be looking for something of that nature. Is he going to find it? No, sir, he is not. That is unfortunate for him. Alright. Well, I mean, that's one way of doing things. That's one way of doing things. He doesn't quite know about the proxy barracks, but you know what? GUMIHO doesn't quite know about the proxy pylons, so... yeah, take that. Take that. Classic already building a zealot here as well. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, that does get cancelled. I was a bit worried there for that one. Building the Stargates. Alright, alright. This one's gonna get aggressive, boys. That Reaper should have a really good scout of this base, though, and see, you know what, there is no Nexus here. Same for that SCV. They both can confirm. They don't even have to either confirm nor deny that. They can just confirm it quite easily. Probe on this side of the map coming back around as well. He realizes, you know what, maybe we need all the probes on deck right now. He may lose one or two of them. Only losing one of them. Might lose two of them. Secondary Reaper. Third Reaper on the way as well. Being produced right now. As there is this Void Ray coming in. Base for GUMIHO. He's already got a Tech Lab on that factory. Should be looking pretty good actually to hold this. You know, you just need that one Cyclone and you're pretty good against the one Void Ray. Unless if there's shield batteries there, and there are no shield batteries there, let me tell you. Classic, though, he's doubling down. He is gonna commit to this a little bit more so. The Reaper's still keeping the adapts in the Protoss base, which is not where they really want to be. I want to try to march across the map and support as much of this attack incoming as possible. GUMIHO building his secondary base right now. He's not gonna put all his eggs in a defensive basket. He's gonna try to make this work and be definitively ahead after he defends against it. He did see the extra gateways, right? I'm not crazy. Yes, he did. Alright, so he should know what is coming here. Building a Viking and another Cyclone. Can the Void Rays get the Cyclones? That's the question. If they can get both of these Cyclones right here, right now, that would be fantastic. But looks like maybe not the best of times for the Void Rays. Oh, it's rough to say, but maybe he would have been able to kill both of those with keeping both Void Rays alive as well if he just ran into the base. I mean, there's only so far this Cyclone can run, and with the engineering bay there as well, very difficult to make that work. Maybe a bit of miscontrol, trying to run away from a Cyclone that there's no running away from. Now he's here with a couple of gateway units. Trying to gun down this bunker before any units go into there. We got another Cyclone on the field. It's going to be tight, that's for sure. Shield battery would have been amazing here still nonetheless, regardless, but not going to be a part of it this time around. I feel like that's kind of the moment as well when we saw that Void Ray moving backwards. I think that would have been the right choice to do if you do have a shield battery, probably, right? You do want to run it back. So it makes sense that's kind of like what Classic was going for there. Going for a proxy Nexus there on the gold. Little secret base. GUMIHO is starting to tighten up the bolts here. Remaking the supply depots. Got himself a good amount of Vikings, zoning away the Void Ray as well as with the Cyclone, of course. And then a Siege Tank, zoning away the Stalkers from shooting and zoning away the Vikings. It's a lot of zoning going on here. You're just gonna have to trust me that it all makes sense. It all makes sense. So yeah, that Nexus right there for Classic is gonna provide quite a bit of extra money if it is allowed to proceed with the mining procedures there. And he even has mining going on there before GUMIHO has any mining going on the other side. Now, he did have his second CC a lot earlier than Classic, so it looks like that is why we're having this disparity in workers as well. I say there's, you know, a deficit, but I mean, I just mean that GUMIHO is already tied up on workers with Classic, and that's not really supposed to happen. Because you do have the chrono boost as the Protoss, which should allow you to just have way more probes at this moment in time. To make up for the fact that, you know, Terran has mules. So most likely, if we now open up this tab right here, yeah, there you go. Little bit of red now, but probably could have been more if we had probes being produced all that time. Then again, of course, Classic thinking he's going to break his opponent there, so makes sense that he stops making those probes. I like the way he's trying to fight his way out of this, though. Very cool to see. He's got a full surround on the 2 base. He's going to have to start prepping. Most likely a 2 base assault is going to be leaving this base within the next maybe 1 or 2 minutes. As soon as he has 2 medevacs, I would say that is a good moment for him to try. Blink Stalkers considering the main base blink. Not gonna make it happen, and taking the second gold base here as well. Why the hell not? Why the hell not? Make it happen. Banshee on this gold base, so you know what? Those probes, they are gonna transfer over to the other gold base. No, coming back right now. Trying to get to the safety of his Blink Stalkers. 8 probes, though. That is a solid amount of damage right there from GUMIHO. Really solidifying that worker count in his advantage. Gold minerals are good, but I'm not sure if they're good enough to make up for like an 8 to 6 probe difference, you know, against the Terran. GUMIHO's third base not quite done yet either, though, so we'll have to take that into consideration. Blink Stalkers trying to be used up to the maximum effect that they can. The charge upgrade is about to finish up as well, so that should allow Classic a lot more freedom, or well, space over here to try and contain his opponents. He does have a warp in available for the Cyclone on his natural, unnatural base here, I should say. Two more gateways, and he's starting to mine there now. The scan reveals the other gold base. It's also kind of giving an inclination to Classic to believe that this is where the next attack is going to be landing. Yet he has no clue that the attack really is coming from the other side of the map. Classic desperate now to get into position. The Widowmines here needs to blink away. Okay, does manage to do that in a fairly effective manner. There's still enough Marines and Marauders here to be enough of a problem for a Soul Stalker army. Alright, Zealots joining in the fray now as well. Tanking up that damage, and you know what, this is a Holy Grail siege tank placement, isn't it? Holy moly, that is nice. More Widowmines there, again, gonna start setting off. I hope Classic remembers. Oh, that is terrifying. Oh, that is terrifying, isn't it? Right, big drop right on top of the Nexus. Once again, the Zealots trying to set off the Widowmines right here. It's doing an alright job. A lot of Protoss units do go down though, and those medevacs are still standing. The Widowmines are still standing, and there's more bio walking across the map right now. That being said, we do have 2 gold bases mining for Classic. Even with the worker deficit, that should mean for something, right? Struggling to pick up some units here, but great pickup micro from his opponent, GUMIHO. Keeping most of his units alive right now. The Widow Mines are going to reposition here. It's a terrifying sight to behold. Let's see, that's a lot of probes blowing up into smoke. 2 more Widow Mines right here available. Great use of those units. Man, GUMIHO is impressing me a lot right now with his positioning and how he's kiting, where he's going across the map. You know? May have been on military service, but the game sense and understanding of where to go at what point in time in the game really doesn't seem to have left him all that much. GG is called. GUMIHO taking a wonderful game number 3. Well played. Playing it safe, Cybercore before the thingamajig. Even putting up that Zealot for production here as well. I mean, he's not scouting, so maybe that's the reason why he just wants to be super safe. Yeah, look at that. He makes a Cybercore and a Zealot before he goes for the Nexus. Not sure if that's more efficient. Did he just misread the situation? Was he anticipating another proxy Rax here? Perhaps. Oh, sorry. That was not the right thing to do. That was not the right thing to do. Getting complacent with my observing here. Another Reaper, 2 of them. Gonna try to figure out what is going on, what's transpiring in the Protoss base. What kind of mischievous things this Protoss player is up to. We'll need to figure it out. There's a Stargate here, easy scout for that Reaper right now. Well, both of them gonna try to make some damage happen here. Fighting off a Adept on the other side of the map, actually. There is a Stalker and a Zealot right now. And there are no bio units here. Alright, there we go. There is the Cyclone now finishing up. The Zealot just decides to run in here. This is a weird situation. This is a weird situation. On the other side of the map, I think the Reapers... No, the Reapers are still alive somewhere. Oh, there they are. They came back. They're too late. It's too little, too late, but... There you go. There you go. 2 SCVs. 2 SCVs for the price of a Zealot and a Stalker. Is it worth it? Well, I guess he brought back all those Reapers and Cyclones. Kind of kept that on the other side of the map. I'm not even sure if he scouted the Stargate. No, he didn't. So, unaware about this. Still playing it safe, making Cyclones, though. But he doesn't have the Cyclone anywhere near where it needs to be in order to defend against the Oracle. Oracle this time around, again, gonna try to go for the natural base. That's a very juicy mule target right there. That's only just been put down. Going for the prioritizing SCVs right now. I mean, that mule's wasting its own life energy away anyway, right? Careful of the Cyclone. Is it out of energy now? No, it's still going to be able to pick off a couple more units. One more. Oh, just barely couldn't make it happen. Right, 8 SCVs. That is very solid. Now, if Classic survives here, doesn't take a good chunk of probe damage himself, he should have a wonderful time overall. Oh, the production facilities here are in a lot of trouble, though. Might be a while. If that pylon in particular gets targeted down, GUMIHO could definitely do a little bit of a better job targeting down that pylon right now, but I mean, that would shut down a lot of production available. Actually, pretty much half the production available for Classic. He also managed to still squeeze out that Void Ray right now. Starting to poke forwards, needs to get rid of that Siege Tank, and oh my god, that Void Ray just melted. Without a Siege Tank there, though, it's hard to really claim that space as your own. Oracle once again as well, dealing the damage. Might be it, guys. This might be it. I mean, that Oracle on its own 15 kills. 15 kills. If I were GUMIHO, I'd already tapped out. And again, GUMIHO is someone of a much, you know, broader experience in StarCraft 2 than I am. Does know a lot of things about StarCraft 2. Does he know how to bring back this game from the brink of death? I don't know. If I knew that, maybe I would have been a player. Or a good commentator. Personally, I would say this is a very dire situation, especially now losing that medevac as well. More units going down. Every kind of situation I'm looking at, right? It just seems like there's an advantage for Mr. Classic. It's just the upgrades right now. Two Banshees. Two Banshees could do some work here, right? They could definitely lay down some firepower here. Stalkers? Hello? Nice! That's not the cleanest engagement I've ever seen. 10 probes go down on the other side of the map as well. And now, well... Oh, gosh darn. Well, that is... Oof. That's a lot of damage. There we go. There we go. I mean, once again, GUMIHO showing that... even if things look a little bit bad, you can just make things look good again. You can just make them look absolutely wonderful, actually. Look at that, 42 workers versus 42 workers there for a moment. Units lost tab, absolutely turned upside down. That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. To be fair, a lot of it was also just Classic, not really making the most out of his attack. Having a little bit of trouble making it work on the other side of the map, while those Banshees were causing him to be distracted quite a bit. That's rough. That is rough. Going back and forth quite severely right now, GUMIHO. I mean, man. If this game doesn't go into Classic's favor, it's going to be a very rough to imagine Classic winning the series overall. Not just because GUMIHO is going to be on match point, but also because that was a really good position Classic was in. Was ahead in a lot of remarks, and yeah, it just kind of slipped out of his fingers there. Like little grains of sand trying to be held in a fist of anger. It's not going to happen. It's all going to squeeze out. Leave your hand. Just like the odds of winning this game for Classic. Oh, man. Oh, man, it's rough. Alright, well, I mean, he's still got a shot, right? He's still definitely got a shot here. Supplies are fairly similar. Still, I still very much prefer GUMIHO's position right now, but I mean, I preferred Classic's position before I preferred GUMIHO positions, and who knows, maybe Classic's gonna turn something upside down here as well. Have himself a wonderful play. What we do definitely know is that when this army is moving across the map, the Terran is definitely gonna show up suddenly on the other side of the map as well. A couple of medevacs are dropping off a couple of boys. As the Zealots and Stalkers are trying to make the best out of this situation, trying to get themselves on top of SCVs. An entirely exposed mineral line right there might be the way to go for a couple of Zealots. Try to shut that down as soon as possible. Fourth base for Classic being acquired as well. into the main base. Wants to get on top of the production right now. Really a killing blow if this is going to succeed. Classic doing a good job so far. The attack on the other side of the map still going strong as well, of course. Base trade in full effect. Workers active right now, heavily favoring Classic, but there's no places for them to mine, of course. The army supply overall, it's close. It's very, very close. Only 2 Colossi out on the fields as 3 siege tanks and 3 Marauders, a Cyclone and 5 Medevacs. Kind of the brute force of the Terran started to lift up all his buildings, moving across the map right now. As Classic is going to take acquisition of the bottom of the map. Alright, we do still have a orbital, a single orbital. 16 workers versus 51. This orbital's still in a lot of trouble as well. If these Stalkers actually kill this off, that it's going to force the hand of GUMIHO to quite an extent. But if Classic loses too many Stalkers here, he might not be able to really hold off the Terran engage anymore. Even after killing that command center, it might not mean everything anymore. Alright, Classic, you need everything together right now. You need absolutely everything. Those probes, the zealots from the other base. Alright, there you go, there you go. Get that going. Somehow, some way. Hoping for a miracle. The siege tanks are sieging up. Is GUMIHO still going to have enough Marines and Marauders to fight off against this Protoss onslaught? I do not believe that is the case. That is not the case indeed. GG is called. Classic takes game number 4. I guess with this game, right? Potential 4 more games. Or 3 more games, I mean, sorry. There we go. I figured it out. I figured it out. I'm a smart boy. That's what people tell me all the time. All the time, I'm not kidding you. Alright, bottom right side. There we go. Blue Terran. Blue Terran. Waiting for another Protoss opponent. Who's spawning over here in the top left side. But first, we'll introduce this guy. He's from System Gaming. It is GUMIHO. Top left side, as we said, we would introduce him as well. He is the Red Protoss from Alpha X. Classic. 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 It's a very Dutch way of saying it. Classic. Classicie. That's what I would say if I saw him in real life. Classicie. GUMIHO would be GUMIHO. GUMIHO. Ah, Dutch. It's a crazy language. Alright, well, we do have that other proxy barracks once again. We do have another Zealot here, again being produced by Classic. He seems to be absolutely fine with delaying this Nexus, a lot more than a lot of other Protoss are. Just trying to be safe, trying to not cut any edges. Trying to make sure that he's just prepared for pretty much anything his opponent can throw at him. Sees on the other side of the map, you know what, you don't have a barracks here, so this is a good choice to make that Zealot right now. The Zealot's gonna have to try and deal with the bunker. Well, he doesn't have to, right? You could just put down a shield battery later down the line. That is perfectly fine as well. And then try to stop this Reaper from killing your probes and interfering with your mining. Has a Stalker to do that now, though, so... I mean... May have been a little bit harder for GUMIHO to get the 2 probe kills there with the Reaper if the Zealot was chasing it, but... you know... You take some losses, you take some wins sometimes, and that's all it's gonna be. That's all it's gonna be. Reaper in the main. Nothing to see here, just quite yet. There's a Stargate on the natural base, and that gets scouted right now. So he knows about that one. So he's starting up production of Widow Mines, moving them in the front of his natural base. Okay. Might decide to reposition those in a little bit after, you know, seeing that Stargate in production. Might even put one over here somewhere, right? That wouldn't be too bad. I mean, you know where the Stargate is made, so this could be a very good angle of attack for that Oracle. If you put something around this area, then might just be able to pick off that Oracle mid-transit. Whatever happened to that part of the game anyway, right? Where everyone was trying to predict where the Oracles were going. We just had these Widow Mines being placed further and further and further out in the map. We had the idea that perhaps over time we'll have the Widow Mines go up like this close to the Stargate. Just right underneath. As soon as it pops out, you just have to kill right there, but never quite got to that part of the game, did it? Which makes sense, because that would be ridiculous. That would be absolutely ridiculous. Okay, little medevac right now. Needs to watch out for the Protoss units up and about on the map. It's carrying a hefty payload of 4 Widow Mines after all. That is quite expensive. You do want to make some stirring of events happening on the other side of the map with those units. Now, Oracle, once again, completely exposed main base, nothing there to defend against it, and he is not taking that opportunity. He's playing so incredibly safe. Losing 2 of his gateway units already. At least he sets off all the Widow Mines without losing a tremendous amount of probes. You know, so in that aspect, he is still safe, but oh man, that Oracle. Imagine how many kills they could have gotten there. It's that is rough. That is rough. I mean, even now, still, right? Still nothing there. It's a Viking here, I suppose, with a couple of Marines. They did come out to play as we were watching the other side of the map. And now I would be surprised if we see more damage coming in from this Oracle right now. Just want to kill off these Widow Mines, though. Doing a really good job kind of zoning them out. Oh dear, the Stalkers! Oh, that's a shame. Well, that's a bummer. Nope, nothing there. Nothing there, don't worry about it. Ah, well. No big probe hit this time around. Trying not to be biased, but I'll always be biased for big Widow Mine or big Baneling connections. It's just fireworks, isn't it? It's just StarCraft 2 fireworks. We all like fireworks. Some people say they don't like fireworks, but then when you're there, you're watching a show of fireworks, it's still like, wow, okay, this is pretty cool. At least for a couple of moments, right? And then afterwards you're like, okay, how long does this go on for? This is quite a couple of probes being picked off by this assault right now. The Stalkers coming in from multiple angles. The probes as well, trying to provide a little bit of shielding for those Stalkers. But this is tremendous amounts of damage right now. An enormous amount of work being achieved by GUMIHO, and that is actually already going to be it. GG is called. GUMIHO, with a very stellar kind of 2-base timing attack, slaps Classic down. Okay. Well, I think GUMIHO just got himself a little advantage. Now, a lot of stuff can still happen, but I mean, this is looking like a proxy gateway, and he's going up against a double gas opening, so most likely, I mean, there's going to be a Cyclone out pretty soon. If he does go for that factory play here right away, which is what it's looking like it's gonna be. And even if that factory timing was supposed to be for like Widow Mine drops or something like that, right? As soon as he sees it's getting aggressive here, he's just gonna be able to transition that quite easily. Maybe even get a Hellion out, or even get that, you know, even if you do only get that Widow Mine out, still gonna be a very, very great thing here, especially on the top side of the ramp. Should be able to hold off for quite a while. I'm wondering whether or not Classic is going to do anything else there from this point onwards, or if he's going to try to just go for a Nexus. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst choice overall, right? Seeing your opponent going for the factory. In theory, he should be a lot safer here than he was before. Wow, that Reaper not getting the scout off right there. Now he gets the scout. Tech lab immediately thrown down onto the factory. Singular adept ready to defend the probes. First Stalker encroaches on the expansion of GUMIHO. Might get cancelled eventually, but he wants to buy time as much as possible here. Losing the probe. Is that gonna be problematic for him later down the line? Maybe. He's not gonna be able to put down any supporting pylons nearby, nor is he gonna be able to put down any shield batteries. So the shield batarangs. It's an awkward situation, isn't it? Oh, he kills the Reaper. Yeah. This is just unfortunate. It's like the build of Classic. I just don't think it's, you know, well, it's a good build, don't get me wrong, but it's a good build for a Terran playing a regular game, a normal game. But going for the factory first, I feel like GUMIHO just had too many tools in his cabinet to try and deal with this, you know? Too much available. And again, I mean, who knows? Classic might just still barge on through here, kill off a bunker with that Immortal. There's nothing here defending the natural base anyway, so you might still be able to do something, right? Cyclone skilling off an adept in the middle. This is where the true brain can come and shine through. Killing off the pylon here is pretty good as well, though. There's no mistake in there. Gateway kind of helping out that area. Orbital command now onto the high ground again. And you know what? You know what? With that, I think Classic kind of made the situation a lot more okay for himself. He's gonna clean up these Cyclones and the Viking as well. Opening up the doors for Warprism harassment a lot more heavily so in the later parts of this game, right? What does GUMIHO really have right now? He's gonna have himself a Banshee, he's got 2 siege tanks and 4 Marines. That's all he has available. The army of Classic, you know, if it gets a straight up fight, it's gonna absolutely shred this Terran army. But the Terran army is still growing. The Banshee has left the vicinity though. That one is going across the map. It's going to make it more difficult. This natural base is once again going to have to be lifted up. Even though GUMIHO may have had all the tools in his cabinet to, you know, secure this natural base in a pretty easy way. Or in a fairly secure way. It just seems like it just wasn't in the cards for him today. Moving out with the 2 Cyclones and the Viking. I'm trying to wonder whether or not that would have, you know, been enough to try and take out the offensive. Because the offensive really was just a couple of Stalkers and the Immortal, right? You get a look onto the Immortal. What's Classic gonna do? There wasn't a Warprism there either, so he couldn't juggle with his units. Actually, the lock-ons would have been a lot more effective at that moment in time still. Banshee getting 6 kills overall. There are Stalkers available now, though. This is kind of the big point of contention, though. This is the prize money fight. Making Archons out of Dark Templars now. Seeing that there is a Raven. Did he must have seen with the Banshee, right? That no, he didn't even. Wow, he just knew. He just knew. My man just knew. Right, here's the big concave of Stalkers trying to collapse onto the siege tanks and the Marines. approaching the low ground here. If he pushes this back one more time, I mean, that is enormous amounts of mining lost for GUMIHO. Losing the siege tanks there as well. There is still 2 siege tanks on the high ground, but yeah, again, you just can't get that command center settled. And he desperately needs that command center in position. Oh, this is awkward. Oh, this is awkward. Oh, that's not gonna work. Classic. Oh, boy. Well, attempts were made. Couldn't break it up down one more time there, a third time. So, yeah, now suddenly the ball on the side of GUMIHO's playing field here. Immediately shutting down indeed production from this location right there. 2 DTs. Could be coming in here into the main base. We have that War Prism available as well. Looks like he wants to group those 2 together. Just gotta be careful though for the siege tanks and the marines coming in. I like this. I like this a lot. Wasting scans for his opponents. After all, he did kill the Raven off in that previous fight. So, I mean, Dark Templars, once again, a lot more valuable in this situation right here. Probably wants to have that DT attack the reinforcements. There we go. He's going to be able to make that happen. Mr. Turret. Ooh, just barely completed. DT. He's going to get killed off. This side of the map, siege tanks in a... Whoa, that is a monstrous position right there. That Nexus is going to have to get cancelled, I assume, right? Or... No, he's going to let it finish. He wants to break this. He's got a limited amount of time, and I don't know if he's going to have the warpins available to save this. Using more probes. Okay, 2 siege tanks. That's good picks right there. He's got the blink to set up onto the other siege tank, but does still lose that Nexus. Making another one. No worries. GUMIHO finally mining off his own second base. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, this could be it, guys. This could be it. Ooh. More probes going down again. The third base of Classic. At least it doesn't get destroyed this time. It is actually a cancel. Now the forces into the main base. Classic entirely out of position with his forces. Nowhere where he had to be. He's busy trying to micro the DT harassment right there. I mean, he did get 15 SCV kills. But now there's a siege tank with a bunch of marines ready to shoot down whatever they can in the main base of the Protoss. Getting more value, more units dropping right in straight away. GG is called. GUMIHO. What a game, what a showman. He doesn't need that second base for the longest period of time. He knows how to make it work still. GG. Well played. GUMIHO takes the series 4-2.